Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this tutorial I will show you how you can make this simple sci-fi art inside Blender using PBR textures. Uh, I have many more tutorials coming up on the week, so I hope this video helps. So without further ado, let's begin. Alright guys, so we are inside Blender and you know the drill. Just delete the default cube, default camera, default light, everything. So add a plane, press shift A to add the plane and enlarge it to something to bring up to the viewport. And let's enlarge it a little bit to the y-axis and s-axis, so it will be looking a little bit of a much more balanced right now. So let's go to the subdivide, press tab to edit mode and add a subdivide and cut it to something like 100. I guess 100 looks good. So let's go to sculpting mode and do some basic tweaks to make it looks like it looks like a terrain, have some bump here and there, like a bumpy, like a rocky kind of landscape, something like that. We The basic goal of this tutorial, it's just a plain old sci-fi tutorial. So in here, just use your imagination to make the very best into the plane, and you can do like what I did, but right now it looks like a bun, something like that. So let's go back to the layout option and shade smooth to smooth the shading, and go to the shading, and if you have the node wrangler already enabled, press new to get the materials, and select the main material and press Ctrl Shift T to select your textures. So go to the directory that you stored your textures. So I want to have some kind of like rock, like some, because it looks like a rocky kind of landscape. So yeah, wait for a minute, or if your computer is good, it's gonna be a couple of seconds. So yeah, our landscape terrain is pretty much done. So right now we want to have a little bit of the displacement, so go to cycles and inside the materials, go to the settings to select not just displacement, just bump and displacement, both options. So in this case, that the both bump and displacement will work, not just the bump or not just displacement. So adjust to your liking to the settings to have a little bit of a dramatic effect to your landscape. So have some increasement to the normal mapping. Don't do too much, because if you do too much, it will look like a messed up shadowy kind of figure. So increase the scales that you want, and adjust the shading map. Let's go to the scale option and increase the Z axis, not the S axis. So inside the Z, increase it to your liking. So there you go, we are pretty much done with our terrain, but I want to have a much more puff version of this terrain. So I want to go to the sculpting option again to bring out much more fatty landscape here over there, like a little bit of bump here and there, so let's go to the sculpting option and paint till you're satisfied. So I'm gonna just make much more puffed up landscape here and there till I get like satisfaction kind of position, something like that. So I think this is very much looks good now. So choose the point of view that you want, and I'm gonna shift it towards this. Looks great from this option. So let's go at our sphere. So press shift A and select a UV sphere, press C, press S to scale up, and then bring it up on the Z axis. And now it looks like a little bit of odd on the texture of the UV sphere, but don't worry, we can fix that. So select the UV sphere and press the right side of the button of the mouse and pick the shading smooth. So it will smooth out the shadings, and let's add some materials or textures to the UV sphere. So as we did before, select the main one and press Ctrl Shift T and select all the textures that you want. So go to the directory that you have restored all your textures and just bring it out, and there you go. It looks pretty much nice, it looks great. and do a little bit of adjustment with the bump till you get a good satisfaction kind of level, something like that. And I like to play with the bump and the strength of the normal map. It brings out a natural shadowy kind of thing. So yeah, to do that, and looks good, looks good. So let's go to the layout option, and right now we don't have any light added on the scene. So without the light, when we go to the rendered viewport, it will look pretty much darker, like dark and dark. So we also don't have a sky texture enabled in, so we're gonna have to add a sky texture. So let's go to the shading and change the settings to world, and inside the world let's select and sky texture. From the color option, click on the little yellow option on the color option, and the yellow texture will pop up. So if you select the Nishita option, it will only work when you choose cycles. So inside cycles, I don't know why it looks like kind of like messed up right now on this case for me. So I'm gonna just choose EB. EB looks pretty much fine for me, but right now I'm just gonna go to layout option, and I'm gonna just adjust from there to see that final result. So it looks like like one of those tropical kind of color grading right now with the sky texture. So I'm gonna increase it a little bit to like yellow tint, sort of to have the vibe of like a alien kind of feeling. So don't do like too much decreasing. So if you do decrease it too much, there is like it will start to look like dark. So we don't want that. We want happy sci-fi scenario in this case. So have the intensity to a modest level, I would say. So in that way your overall settings will look much more balanced. So I think this looks pretty much nice. Let's have some yellow in there. Yellow looks pretty much fitted with the sci-fi tone, don't you think? So yeah, let's increase some more, and it looks good. So let's add our lights to the scene. Press Shift A, go to the light, select a point light in this scenario, and you have to increase the power of the light, so it will look like extra kind of like bright or sort of like that. And have the light upward to the z-axis, and change the light to something that can give you like an alien kind of feel. So choose the color. In this case, I'm gonna go with something like a little bit of a bluish tint, not just bluish, like a cyan kind of tint, darker cyan. So yeah, just add another light, and in this case add a spotlight, but I want to change spotlight to area light, because for some reason is the spotlight looks weird. We're not inside like a fashion show or something like that, so we're gonna have to spotlight, and inside the spotlight change the color. Let's change color to something like yellow orange sort of tint, like that, so it will look like a sort of sci-fi vibe, sort of like that. So that's it, another light, and this time also changing the color of it to match the previous light we added on that side. So in this case we are gonna change the light to something like cyan. Cyan would work pretty great, but I think it all depends on the creative side that you want. You can change it to pretty much like anything, any color side if you want. I think that it will look great on how much the lighting settings you want. Add a camera and adjust the camera's point of view till you have a good shot on there. অডিও রিয়াতে মানে রেকর্ড হইতেছে, সাউন্ড মাগরিবের আজানের রিয়াদ, এই যে এটা। আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, এই মাঝখান দিয়ে অডিওগুলো কাইটা দিবি এতটুকু। So adjust the focal length of the camera. Something like close shot, that would look good, like the overall sci-fi scenario, it's on blending like that. So when you're have satisfied with your camera settings, I would suggest you to add a cube, and this cube, it's gonna be our haze. We're not gonna add much more haze for dramatic purpose. We're just gonna add a little bit of haze, so it will look like I'll just make the scene much more pop out, have like a little bit of a grainy kind of thing. Since it's a simple sci-fi setting, so it's gonna be pretty much simple. So go to the materials option, select the object on the shading, delete the principal material, add an emission. This emission is gonna be our main haze for the settings, so connect it to the volume. And for some reason, I don't know why my viewport doesn't working pretty much well right now. I can't really see, but I can go back to the layout option. But before that, let's decrease our emission and change the color to your liking. I would suggest something like 0.002 is fine, because if you add much more, something like that, it will look bad. So that's it. That's our pretty much the haze. But this haze right now, it's not showing up, so we're gonna have to change the render engine. But EV looks great. If you want, you can go to cycles also. You can add the ambient occlusion and much more settings, till you get satisfied. So I hope this tutorial helped, and I am coming back with much more tutorials on After Effects, Blender, Premiere Pro hopefully, and also Photoshop. So if you like the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, comment about what was your favorite part, and I hope to see you on to the next one. And have a nice day. See you.